Alright, welcome back. This is episode 70. I remember the first time I played this game, I remember hearing about the Urn of Sacred Ashes and the legend, and I assumed it was just like a legend, like part of the lore of the game to spice it up a bit. I didn't think there would actually be a quest to find the urn and that it would actually become part of the game's main plot. So I just assumed that we would find some other more reasonable way to cure the Arl, and this would be something that maybe would be referenced in a later game, or who knew. So it's when it turned out that you actually do have to go on this whole extra quest to find it. It was so surprising, and also, like I said, it's just a bonus quest, and
Here
it's
we
amazing.
are. Give me the medallion, and let's see if I remember. Yes, you see, it can be manipulated, just like this. And there, a key to open the way.
Uh, how'd you know how to do that?
There are very few keys like this left in the world, but I have seen some. When you find the right combination, it just feels right. It is hard to explain. Now, let's see if we can open this door. There should be a place to insert this.
Ooh.
Oh, what I would give to have seen this hall in all its splendor, as it was meant to be. Still, sweep away the ice and the snow, and traces of beauty remain.
You need to stay alert now, brother.
I'm sorry, what? I was a little distracted, I apologize. These carvings were created just after Andraste's death, and they may reveal things about her life that we do not yet know. I think I need more time to study these statues and carvings.
I can't wait for you, brother.
I could not keep up with you with my injuries. I should be safe. I don't think there are any villagers here. Go. I will be all right. Perhaps my destiny was only to lead you to the Urn.
Is there anything else I should know about the temple?
It was designed to protect the Urn from those who would steal it or do harm to it. Namely, the Tevinter Imperium.
What sort of dangers are we talking about here?
I'm not sure. The legends were never very specific on that point. Only the faithful shall lay eyes on the sacred ashes. Death and misfortune await the unbeliever. The Maker's gaze has fallen on Andraste's final resting place. He weeps for his beloved, and his wrath at her betrayers endures.
That could be bad, because I don't think Aravail is a true believer. He's a supporter of the Chantry to a degree, but I think he's more of a cultural Andrastian than a true believer. Um, so is it the wrath of the Maker that strikes men down?
That is what the legend says, and the Maker may indeed watch this place. Read between the lines, however, and you'll understand that it is merely a simple truth draped in hyperbole and metaphor. After all, no one wants to hear, Willie toiled for many a year to perfect the curious mechanisms that would send a sharpened spike up the arse of the unwary intruder.
Traps, then.
I think my decision to stay here was the best one, don't you?
Try not to get in trouble.
I'll be right here if you need me. Now I need something to write on.
Hopefully he brought some paper. I probably have some paper in my inventory. Too bad I can't give it to him. Actually, I don't for a change. Normally I do. I assume I'm carrying around a small tome with me at this point, though, with all these codex entries I have. Alright, so this actually is probably my favorite room in the game, despite it being covered in ice. It's not super different than the Elven Hall, really. It is much bigger, though.
Maker's breath. Look at it all.
In a way, the snow actually makes it beautiful. It's all white and pristine and pure. Oh, a book. Andraste, Bride of the Maker. Liliana already told us most of this, actually. So we're not going to sit there and read it. But yeah, she was basically... the Maker fell in love with her, and people called her his bride, but her earthly husband got jealous, turned her into the Winter Imperium, and she got put to the flames and died. But her church was founded, and to spread her teachings and the word of the Maker, and hopefully, if everyone is converted to the way of the Chantry, the Maker will fulfill his promise and create a paradise on Earth. as Andraste once said. It has many parallels to the story of Jesus, obviously, including her husband Maleficath, or whatever his name is, taking the role of Judas. But instead of the Son of God, it's the Bride of God, which is at least a little bit different. So I like it. This is a cool room, though. Let's head up here.
We must not exhaust our supplies.
Oops, some cultists. Alright, humans. It's not often we face a lot of humans in our quests.
Not wimps. Try not to look too incompetent. It's embarrassing.
Like that guy there. Didn't I have a prison on him and he still lived through it? Whereas like an enemy mage's prison kills me right away. I kind of hope there are some mages here, though. I'm pretty sure there are.
Too easy.
I'm pretty sure there's actually more people here than in Haven, which doesn't make a ton of sense, but
More enemies ahead.
I guess they live here too. And this is what the boy was talking about, obviously. He went him up here. This is where the true believers are. Should have seen that coming.
Too easy. Make him praised.
Some loot down here.
It has begun.
Nothing great, though. Hopefully we'll find some better stuff later on, because I could certainly use some. Actually, maybe we should explore down here first. I don't really remember the layout of this temple. So, in its ruins, it reminds me in a way of what was his name? Albert Speer, who is actually Hitler's architect.
It has begun.
With a sealed letter. Oh, that I'll look at in a second. I'm glad we found that. But part of his architectural philosophy was that if you built buildings great enough, they would remain beautiful even in their destruction, like the ruins of ancient Rome, which is part of what the Nazis looked to as a precedent when they tried to build their German Empire.
It has begun.
Taper, that could be useful.
Very well.
A gift, more vellum. There's some blank vellum. I can give that to Brother Giant TV to write stuff on. I wonder if you actually can do that. Probably not, but maybe I should try just in case. But it reminds me of that line from Speer. Fun story too, Speer was actually one of the only Nazis who actually apologized for the Holocaust, which obviously doesn't mean much to the people who had to suffer through it, but I guess it puts him a slight step above all the other Nazis. So, see, even Nazi architects are slightly better than regular Nazis. I say that as an architect, so little bias
You're
there.
back. Have you reached the urn?
There are people in there making things difficult.
I am glad to see you are safe. Are there many of them?
Yes, will you be all right here?
I think so. I haven't seen sign of anyone. You must be keeping them busy. If I hear anything strange, I'll be sure to hide. Oh, did you discover something fascinating within the temple?
Nope. I have some vellum, if you want that. That'd be cool if you could give it to him, but you can't. Alright. So that was that hallway. Let's check out this hallway. Almost had another level up, yay. Do you remember this area a little bit? Now that we're here. It is a cool level design. I like how... Oh. I guess a key is required. It doesn't say that. There it is up there, key required. Alright then. We'll have to look for a key.
Old books. You think any of those might still be readable?
I shall do it.
Apparently, the old gods. Those are, oh, here we go. Dumat, the dragon of silence, Zazikel, the dragon of chaos, Toth, the dragon of fire, Andoril, the dragon of slaves, Urthemil, the dragon of beauty, Razikel, the dragon of mystery, Lusicon, the dragon of night. There were 7 old gods, great winged dragons, that were said to rule over the ancient world. The Chantry maintains that they are responsible for the original sin, that they turned humanity away from its true creator through deceit. Humanity's faith faltered, and thus the Maker turned away from the world, but not before trapping the old gods in eternal prisons beneath the earth as punishment. Scholars assume that the old gods must indeed have been real at one point, but most agree that they were likely actual dragons, ancient high dragons of a magnitude not known today, and impressive enough to frighten ancient peoples into worshipping them. Some even claim that these dragons slumber as a form of hibernation, not as a result of the Maker's wrath. Regardless of the truth, legend maintains that even from their underground prisons, the old gods were able to whisper into the minds of men. The Archon Thalcian, first of the Magistered, who claimed to have contacted the old god Dumat, used the blood magic Dumat taught him to attain incredible power in Tevinter and declare himself the ruler of an empire. In return, he established the first temples worshipping the old gods, and the dragons became equated everywhere with imperial power. To date, 4 of the old gods are said to have risen as corrupted archdemons. Dumat, the first and most powerful, was slain at the Battle of Silent Fields. Zazakiel fell at the Battle of Starkhaven, Toth died at the Battle of Hunter Fell, and Andorra was felled by Garahel, the legendary Great Warden at the Battle of Islay. I think we might learn a little more about the most recent one, actually, later in the game, but we'll see. It sounds familiar. The archdemons have been identified only after years of argument among scholars, and to this day it is unclear whether the archdemons were truly old gods, and not simply dragons. All that is known is that the Darkspawn hunt for them deep underground. If they are truly the old gods, as many scholars believe, then we have only 3 blights remaining. When all the old gods have risen and been slain, however, what will happen? Will the blights end forever, and humanity earn forgiveness from the Maker at last? We shall see. From the Old Gods Rise Again by Sister Mary, Chantry Scholar, 850 Blessed Age. Alright, so that's interesting, and as you can tell by the list, because it is in chronological order, you can make an educated guess the dragon we are facing now is what was once Urthemiel, the Dragon of Beauty, one of the old gods. A scroll of banister, yay! Only 1 more to go.
Allow me. I could do that for you.
By all means. And a scroll pile.
Right away.
Ancient encrypted scrolls. Oh, I think we can turn these into the Chantry for a side quest, yep. I also wanted to look up, since we found it, Unbound. Something is working behind the scenes in Ferelden. The notes you have acquired from dead or terrified adventurers point to an ancient evil, or at least an ancient man telling stories of ancient evil. You have cause to speak with Wilhelm Maidon, who lives somewhere in Denerim. Alright. That's a cool quest that we'll have to pursue at some point. It's a very, very small quest, but also one of my favorites. We don't have the key yet, though, do we? No. Might have to come back there. I forget where the key is, but I assume we'll find it at some point. I'm gonna have Alistair go first since he's our knight in shining armor, aka our tank. Any more cultists about? No. Doesn't look like it.
Off I go.
I like his little plume there. That's cool. Yep, this is a dead end. I should have put like a corpse of loot there or something. Give you a reason to go down this long corridor. Bad RPG design. Alright. Maybe there's something better over here. Maybe even a key. Maybe some cultists. Oh, and a Bronto. Guess they just kept the Bronto here. Makes sense though, since Brontos do live in the mountains apparently. That's where the dwarves met them, I presume. So it does kind of make sense that they would have them here as well.
Right ahead.
Thank you, Liliana. I will take note of that. I might put an earthquake down, but probably not a tempest or anything.
Tis begun. Very well. As you say. Tis begun. Ha! There is no glory in bloodshed.
He says it all the time, but
Tis begun.
could have fooled me. Come on guys, a little more DPS here. Oh, there's more of them coming. Lots of them. Maybe I should have done a spell. Let's use one of our many Lyrian potions we have. Shock them all. Alright, you know what? Let's go ahead and use one of these. Should get them all. Should get rid of them quickly.
sometimes.
If I can get line of sight. Alright, good enough. We can get those on the way out too. Once the storm has passed. Dagger. Another scroll of Banastor, and that's all 5 of them. Yay. Alright. Let's go this way first. A mage. Oh, I know what to do here. Mana Blast. 272 damage. Jeez. Oh, another one. Guess I should have aimed that better.
Not be defeated.
Alright then.
All is well.
Some arrows. Nothing in here though. Huh. Not great loot so far. The deep roads were more impressive in that regard. Uh-oh. Liliana. Hold on. Run away. Good, good.
You will learn
Get to the back lines where the archers should be. Nice shatter though. Oh. Is it off cooldown? It is. No, it's not. Damn it. I can still shock you though and reduce your mana that way. Oh, you couldn't have holded me. Bastard.
Make her be praised.
Down you go. The Sermons of Divine Renata the First. Not gonna really read those. Chastened Sackmead. Chastened. I know a certain dwarf who would like that. When we get back to camp. He can drink it as we tell stories of what we found here. And a chest. There's the key. Alright. And Black Pearl. Huh. The Curse of the Black Pearl. That's a movie I haven't seen in a long time. It's a good one though. One of my favorites. Oh, now he has loot. At least it was one of my favorites when I was a teenager. It probably still is. It was a good movie. Alright, Cultist Reaver. There we go. Any more respawn over here? No. Thought I saw a glowing chest there. I was mistaken. Do a quick save just in case the game crashes or I die to something stupid. Oh, we tripped the trap, didn't we? Oh well. Bound to happen at some point. Yeah, the loot seems to take a couple seconds to appear. Not sure why. The corpses, rather. Alright, now we have a key.
We must not exhaust our supplies.
They weren't there before, were they?
Another battle.
What do you guys think? Should we do a Storm of the Century? Didn't have a chance. He fireballed us first. Actually, use a group heal. And now we can use a Mana Clash. Down she goes. Yeah, for any normal ranked mage, that's going to be a one-shot. These Reavers are no joke, though. They do a decent amount of damage. I kind of like the design of them, too. All these kind of heavy warriors. Even though they're only in medium armor, but that's okay. Oh, that was a good stun. We have won the day. Where was that door? This way. We can get those on the way out as well. I don't like how cultists are spawning behind me, because one, it makes no sense. There's no doors we haven't explored, and two, it makes me worried for Brother Janet TV. You can't tell him to go to Denham to be safe, and I almost think we should. I'm not sure if anything happens to him. I honestly don't remember. But, we'll see.
It's done. As you like.
Main hall key, there we go. That's something else, actually I do remember that I don't like about this quest, is it makes you think like, oh, I'm I found this locked door, and then because I explored up to the side here, and then I found a key to it by also exploring. Now I can go back. When really you had to do all that to get to the next room, because the big door up here is locked, it turns out. I do remember being disappointed about that. It's like, oh, I like having the optional stuff be optional, so it makes you feel like you're rewarded for your extra efforts. We've been there, right? Cultist chambers, yeah. Alright. Guess that's as far as we can go then. More of those creepy statues we've been seeing. Oh, an autosave. About to save myself. Almost had a new level too.
I shall do it.
It's exciting. Cultist mage. Know what to do for him. I almost feel bad using this, but not that bad. 319 damage. Jeez. Are there traps around? I feel like there are traps. Cannot escape justice. Oh, I like how Morgan put him to sleep. Oh, a wraith. I didn't see you there. Hey, buddy. I am using the wrong staff. I just realized it. I switched it for that one revenant and never switched back.
It has begun.
I'm a dumb person. Alright, there's some malachite we can use for the dwarves, though. And is there any treasure over here in the side area? I guess not. The dwarves at our camp, I mean, where you can donate to the allied supplies chest. Nothing over there either. I would put a little something there. Alright. The holy brazier. Oh, that's cool. Mystery. This is the brazier that created ash wraiths. That's right. Ah, this is where Andraste's fathers immolated themselves and became the eternal guardians of her temple. From the journals of Father Colgrim. About to say we've met him, but we haven't actually. So either he's one of the ancient or older fathers who's long deceased, or we'll meet him further in the temple. We'll keep an eye out. So that explains the ash wraiths, which I think we'll find a decent number of as we move forward into the temple. They're Andraste's ancient guardians, interred with her. Like the Egyptian pharaohs of old. Lots of archers, and I feel like there's going to be lots of traps here too. I'm going to try to get off a blizzard and be a little brave. Come on, Aravail. Yep, lots of traps. Ah, we did it. Alright, you know what? Screw it. Everyone stay put. Especially you, Alistair. Run away. Hey, leveled up. Hey, didn't stand a chance. Alright, let's turn off Spellmite and level up while we're waiting. Did I need more other spells for something? I don't think so. Alright. Choices. Actually, Spell Bloom or Spell Wisp is a nice spell too. It's a sustained spell that gives you more spell power. It's kind of like Spell Might, but a minor version. But it actually works multiplicatively with Spell Might, I think, because one spell makes the other more powerful, since they're each based on spell power. I kind of want it, but all that fatigue, I don't know. Then again, we don't go through mana in most fights, and if we do, we have potions. Life Ward would be really nice. And I remember in my first playthrough, I used it on myself a lot, because I could always revive people, at least every 2 minutes. But I could not revive myself. Mass Rejuvenation is also good. Lots of good spells. I don't think I'm going to go for Mass Paralysis. For a while, I was kind of planning on it. At first, I said no, and then midway through the game, I was like, that would be really useful. But after seeing Storm of the Century in action and playing with it a little bit more, I don't think we need it. I think we can do okay with just Blizzard and Tempest. Even that could be good. So many good choices. Let's go with... I'm going to go with Life Ward. I think it'd be good to have. Alright. Because that's about the only failsafe there is for when you're like stunned, like being overwhelmed, and you can't heal yourself and you don't have another healer in the party. There's nothing you can do, but the Life Ward on you will heal you. So let's put that over here. All these random clicky spells, though, I'm running out of space. I might have to get rid of some of these soon, like Mana Drain and Mana Cleanse. I don't really use them. We really just need them to get to Spell Might and Mana Clash. Alright. We'll leave them there for now, though. Let's have
And
Liliana
you'd
disarm
like-
some of these traps. So we can get some more XP from them.
Trap right ahead.
I think you can actually fire these ballistas too. But I never really bother with that much. Doesn't seem worth the hassle, really. Plus you have to like aim them and I don't know.
It's done.
Maybe, or you have to at least line them up with the enemies to some degree. Maybe later on if we have some tough battles we'll use them, but otherwise I see no need. That's right, she doesn't have to... I forget you don't have to actually wait there and do the animation. They'll get disarmed anyway, somehow, magically. Telekinetic powers. Not too much longer till Liliana can level up. Alistair will be a while, Morgan will be a decent while too. Another autosave. Aha, a Lieutenant Ashwraith.
Will not fear me.
Wonder if these guys use mana or stamina. Cultists.
It's your time.
Wonder why they don't fight each other. Maybe they will later on? Don't remember. Maybe they can sense that these are true believers or something? Oh, I don't know why they...
Now we can
Uh-oh. Aha, that mage used a Tempest on us. Very clever. Alright, Morgan.
let's
Right there, she has a really cool Death Cloud too. I can always use that. That in combination with my Tempest would be something.
Send me. It has begun.
I think you can go either way actually here. There's a nice statue of Andraste. Let's go this way, where the screaming men are. We'll backtrack this way anyway, so we'll worry about the loot then. Another mage. You know what that means. 408 damage. That was good. That's without Spell Might on. I actually might take Spell Bloom.
I shall do.
You know what? I think one of these, I don't remember where it is, but one of these Ashwraith fights is actually kind of tough, I think. I seem to recall one of them picking up a bit of a challenge. Maybe it's like a minor boss fight or something. Is it this room? I think it might be this room. Maybe. Oh, some of these chests are wraith. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Maybe it's just the unexpectedness of it that's...
These things can have unusual powers. Be wary.
Apparently they can hide in chests. That counts as an unusual power.
It's your time.
This is the right staff now, right? Yeah. That's weird though. Alright, the icon does not match the appearance. Which is good, I guess, because I like this one better, I think. This one's cool too, with like the two intertwined dragons, but this is more like Gandalf-y. If that can be used as a verb. Are all of these chests Ashwraiths? Maybe this is the tough one with the two lieutenants here. Oh, sorry, Alistair, didn't mean to do that. Game kind of auto-targeted you there. You know what, let's put a life ward on me. There it is. If my health gets low, it'll auto-restore.
Here I am.
There you are.
Right away.
Some more gloves. Probably shouldn't have had her go in there first. She's a little squishy. You tell him, Morgan. No mercy. Maybe I could use more single target spells. I would take the staff mastery talent, even though it's not that good. It increases your staff power by a third, but it would take 2 points to get to, and I wouldn't use the other shield there, I don't think, so not really worth it. Alright, so this is the door to go deeper into the temple, the Wormling Lair. So let's circle back a bit and gather our loot, and then I want to go up the other path, just I'm a completionist, and I want to make sure we don't miss any cool things, or more importantly, more loots. I guess that was the room I remembered. It actually wasn't that hard. It could have just been like the fact they were in chests that made that room memorable. But it was obviously memorable for some reason, because I did have a vague recollection of it. I know I've mentioned this a couple times before, but it really is cool playing these games again and seeing how like the synaptic connections of your memory work. You remember one thing and that triggers something else, and that triggers something else, and like until today I thought Brother Jan TV was dead, and now I remember a lot about him, and I didn't even remember that there were ash wraiths here, and now remembering individual rooms they were in.
As you say.
It's cool how it all comes back to you. There's a mage. This is just too much fun not to do it. I know it only affects one target, but still. An auto kill with that much damage. Like, I only have like 200 health, and I'm a fully decked out, pretty powerful high-level mage. That guy's in normal rank, and he's taking like 3 times as much damage as however much health he has. It is pretty satisfying. I think I read somewhere they actually nerfed that in a patch, but I don't know if this is post-nerf. I would assume it will be, because again, I'm assuming that that all the patches come default with the Ultimate Edition, because why wouldn't they? But then again, I don't know that for sure. And I believe you actually need like one of the patch updates to install Awakening, the expansion. And since this game comes with the expansion, I would, presume that it would also have... oh, it's not on cooldown. It doesn't have a long cooldown, that's cool. I wonder if I used it on myself, will I insta-die? Probably not. Probably no friendly fire. Almost too good to be true. But, yeah, I would assume that if the expansion needs the patch to apply, when it comes to the expansion, they would give the patch there, because otherwise you would have to download the default game, play it, and then realize, oh crap, I can't do the expansion until I have the patch, and then go online to patch it. And if you're like living somewhere without internet or something, or a slow connection, you really don't want to have to patch it. It seems weird. These guys seem a little scary. I see a trap there. Oh, I know. Stealth mode, hold. Let's see if she can do this. Those look actually painful. It's a cool trap. Good job, Liliana. You know what? Let's have Morgan do a Death Cloud. I think they might have seen her. Scratch that. Earthquake. And now Death Cloud.
Let's finish this.
Back.
Liliana's gonna take damage too, so I'm gonna put a Rejuvenate on her, Regenerate, whatever it's called. See, if this game had more hotkeys, God, the combat as a mage would be so fun. If I had like all these abilities mapped to hotkeys, I could be like moving around, doing mass rejuvenates, doing mind blasts, and just spamming these things like a maestro directing a choir. It would be, that'd be so awesome. But unfortunately, BioWare didn't think you would need more than 10 abilities mapped, apparently. So, yeah. I feel like if they made this game now, they would do it a lot better, since they have an MMO under their belt. At least at one of their studios they do. Hopefully they share knowledge. I'm pretty sure the studios... Oh, I am getting some frame rate issues there. Alright, now we're okay. Let's save it anyway. I know it's a different studio, I think, that made Dragon Age than the one that made SWTOR. I think SWTOR was Austin, and this was in Edmonton. I actually have a friend in Edmonton. But, doesn't work for BioWare, though I know she would like to. Wouldn't we all? But, yeah, anyway. So, it's a shame that they didn't make this game. Well, I'm glad they didn't make this game later on, but it's a shame they didn't have more experience under their belt when they made this game, so they could have thought of things like, hey, let's give them the ability to map all of their abilities to hotkeys. So as it is, it's hard to click on all these abilities when they're all kind of bunched up like that. It's like, oh, which one do I want? And the icons aren't totally different. They're all kind of a person with some kind of effect around them, when you think about it, except this one. And this is a head, so that's a little different. But, yeah. Anyway, that's it for this area of the Ruined Temple. Yep. So we're going to call that an episode. When we come back, we will continue onward and hopefully find the Urn of Sacred Ashes and perhaps more.